An incredible discovery was made in an ancient tomb in central China's Shaanxi province that popped a question in my head. What extinct animals did the ancient Chinese see? They discovered an extinct monkey species once discovered by the ancient Chinese, buried alongside the bones of other animals such as lynx, tiger, and black bear. The partial skull of a gibbon named Yunzi imperialis is preserved. Today, I want to share with you what ancient China had a chance to see that none of us will ever experience. Aside from you watching, most people won't even know these amazing creatures existed. The burial chamber was probably built about 2,300 years ago. It is said to have belonged to Lady Xie, the grandmother of China's first emperor, Qin Shi Huang, who was known for creating the Great Wall and terracotta warriors. In Chinese culture, gibbons are worshipped because of their superior quality and are often kept as pets. This now extinct gibbon reveals the biodiversity of ancient China and the impact early humans had on wild animals. However, detailed information on the extinct species is not available because the skull specimen discovered is incomplete. Computer modeling has confirmed that Junji represents the imperial gibbon genus and another species, possibly still alive hundreds of years ago. The discovery, led by scientists at the Zoological Society of London, suggests that humans caused the extinction of primate populations long before modern times. Researcher Dr. Samuel Turvey emphasized the importance of this finding. All of the world's apes, chimpanzees, gorillas, orangutans, and gibbons are threatened with extinction today due to human activities, but no ape species were thought to have become extinct as a result of hunting or habitat loss. However, the discovery of the recently extinct Yunzi changes this and highlights the vulnerability of gibbons in particular. Gibbons, the smallest of monkeys known for their incredible singing and incredible agility on tree trunks, are now primarily found in the rainforests of historic Asia. Severe human pressure on their environment shifted their distribution southward, eventually leading to the extinction of Yunzi imperialism. Two gibbon species have recently disappeared from China. The International Union for Conservation of Nature, IUCN, has classified all remaining species as critically endangered, with only 26 individuals left. The Hainan gibbon is now considered a species of the world's rarest suckers. Chinese paddlefish, one of the largest freshwater fish, which was last seen in 2003 when researchers tagged a 7-meter, 23-foot female and abandoned that ancient species. Historically, abundant paddlefish populations in many large rivers in the western Pacific declined due to overfishing and habitat fragmentation. The construction of the Gezhuba Dam on the Yangtze River in December 1970 fragmented the populations and blocked vital routes of travel. Despite conservation and protection efforts since 1970, paddlefish have yet to be found since the early 2000s. Extensive surveys in 2017 and 2018 confirmed extinctions, with estimates for 2005 and 2010 respectively. Chinese paddlefish or Chinese swordfish could reach about 23 centimeters in length and weigh up to half a ton. Chinese paddlefish had protrusible jaws with numerous tiny sharp teeth which they used to capture their prey. They had poorly developed eyes, which led them to open their mouths constantly to capture their prey and sense electrical signals. This extinction highlights the enormous impact of human activity on river ecosystems. It serves as a warning for other endangered Yangtze species, such as the critically endangered Baiji, Yangtze River dolphin. Conservationists emphasize the urgent need to protect these species before it is too late. Last seen in China in 2008 was the dugong, now considered functionally extinct due to habitat loss and historical hunting. With a profoundly notched fluke tail and tapered body, it looks like a whale or dolphin. However, it had a large, broad, bristled snout with vibrissae for sensing and manipulating its prey. It ranges from 7 to 11 feet and weighs about 500 to 925 words. Its forelimbs resemble rounded flippers without nails, but it lacked hind limbs and a noticeable neck. They leave feeding trails on the seafloor and occur singly or in pairs. Samuel Turvey emphasized the extinction as a wake-up call for conservation. Dugong song relies on seagrass, which is rapidly degraded by human activities such as coastal development and pollution. Eutrophication also impacts seagrass, where increased nutrient levels from pollution and other sources lead to algae blooms that block sunlight and impair photosynthesis. Although efforts are being made to restore seagrass, the process could be faster for dugongs in China and may need more time. Dr. Heidi Ma and her team conducted research in 4 South Sea provinces along the South China Sea to collect local knowledge on dugong sightings. These studies and a review of historical data showed no evidence of recent dugong survival in China. Gigantopithecus. Another species that lived in China is the Gigantopithecus. The extinct genus of primate is a gigantic ape that once roamed the rainforests of southern China, which upholds the theory that sometimes in evolution, the bigger they get, the harder they fall. Up to 10 feet long and weighing about 1,100 pounds, the giant shark thrived for 6 to 9 million years, but it disappeared about 100,000 years ago during the last Pleistocene ice age. This omnivore lived in the woodlands of Asia. Known only from teeth and jaws, Gigantopithecus has been declared the largest known primate. Its back characteristically slopes downward from top to back, resembling giraffes. The skull has been observed as high and shortened, with numerous chisel-edged teeth on the jaws for cutting food. According to a study by University of Tübingen researcher Hervé Bocherens, the main reason for its disappearance was its inability to adapt to the changing environment. Gigantopithecus relied heavily on the many fruits found in forested areas. As the Pleistocene progressed, the forest turned into savannas, reducing the amount of food Gigantopithecus needed to survive. Unlike orangutans and other smaller relatives who can survive on a limited diet due to their slow metabolism, Gigantopithecus could not adapt to an alternative diet of grasses, roots, and leaves. Aaron Closet, a computer scientist at the University of Boulder, explained that while there are short-term benefits to being larger, there are also long-term risks with larger animals needing more food and having fewer offspring and making their populations more sensitive to environmental changes. This population death occurs when the population of a species is reduced to extinction as a result of these factors. Closet's research shows that their extinction rates increase with body size, which explains the absence of larger species like Gigantopithecus and giant sloths. And then there is the Beiji river dolphin. The Chinese river dolphin, also called Beiji, has been in the limelight because of extinction, even though it has not been seen in the wild for over 20 years. Once the representative species of the Yangtze River in China, the Beiji is the first cetacean to disappear and be paid for by human intervention. It was about 8.8 feet in length and weighed about 230 kilograms. It had a unique stomach with 3 chambers and a long and slightly upturned beak. Its tiny eyes were positioned high on the head with low and triangular dorsal fins. It had distinct shades with pale blue on the back and white on the front side. This creature was called the finless porpoise. The world became aware of the Beiji extinction in 2006 when media outlets centered every inch around the heartbreaking loss of the odd species. Even though specialists had foreseen this ever before, the Beiji became popular only when the extinction was imminent. The number of Beijis was estimated to be around 5,000 in the 1950s, while in the 1980s, this population dropped to around 400. Moreover, by the late 1990s, the population of Beijis had decreased significantly, and at present there are only several individuals. Preservation approaches were worked out for Beiji by arranging cetacean reserves on the river. The proposed breeding program was an additional suggestion for managing the Yangtze's oxbow lakes, but this was postponed. When Sarojia took action, the number of Beiji was so tiny that the program could not obtain the base. The Beiji's extinction sends the message in big letters that the fate of the other endangered species is no different, and identical danger comes to the North Atlantic right whale and the vaquita, an endangered species. The disappearance of the Beiji alerts us to the necessity of implementing better conservation policies so that situations like this do not happen again. Although the Beiji may have disappeared from the Yangtze, it lives on in the preservation of its past through museum exhibits. The expert may use an illustration of Huaisas, the sample taken during the 1927 expedition into Dongting Lake, to show that these may be used as a source of information for modern science, which in turn might support conservation efforts for any related species. These are the relics of China's ancient nature. Let me know what you thought of the video. Subscribe and discover ancient history and creatures with us.